the heart of Ọgùndé village, surrounded by thick forests and whispering winds, lived a girl named Ọlájùmọ, the beauty with fire in her eyes and silence in her voice. They called her Aforn Inu Agbara, the scorpion within power, because no one truly knew what lived inside her. She was the daughter of Awoyemi, the most feared elder in the village. Her mother, dead under mysterious circumstances when Ọlájùmọ was just 8. No one dared question what happened. Not until a stranger came. His name was Túndé, a young journalist from Lagos, sent to document the fading traditions of Yoruba land. He had heard of Ọgùndé and the whispers about the chief's daughter. The one who doesn't laugh. The one the river goddess marked. Túndé arrived with a camera, a notebook, and curiosity sharper than a cutlass. Eager to learn and soak up the atmosphere, Túndé decided to take a walk. He left his camera bag under the tree where he'd been welcomed by the village head's assistant and began wandering the narrow paths, admiring the carved doors, stopping to greet old men playing Ayo under a mango tree, and watching children chase goats down the slope. The air felt different here. Older. Alive. Drawn by the sound of rushing water, he followed a dirt path that curved behind a thicket of banana trees. And that's when he saw her. By the stream. She stood barefoot on a flat stone at the water's edge, dressed in flowing white that danced in the breeze. Her long, braided hair framed a face that seemed carved from silence itself. She didn't look up. She didn't need to. The stillness around her spoke louder than any greeting. She was Ọlájùmọ, the girl of the whispers. Túndé froze, unsure whether to speak or retreat. The sun glinted off the water, casting light against her skin, giving her an almost otherworldly glow. He instinctively reached for his camera, but something in him paused, not out of fear, but reverence, as if photographing her would shatter the sacredness of that moment. She turned her head slightly, acknowledging his presence but saying nothing. Túndé managed a nervous smile. "Good morning." No reply. Just the breeze, the stream, and her quiet presence. He left soon after, but he couldn't shake the image from his mind. That evening, Túndé asked his host, Mama Rafiat, an elderly woman who had lived in Ọgùndé all her life, about the girl by the stream. Ọlájùmọ, she said in a whisper. The daughter of the talking drum. She looked around. Lowered her voice. Ọlájùmọ, not ordinary. Her birth brought thunder the gods didn't send. Her cries, killed a goat. Her shadow flickers when there's no light. Túndé laughed, thinking it was just folklore. Then she said, her voice tight with memory, her mother didn't die. She vanished after screaming her daughter's name 3 times. Despite the warnings, Túndé couldn't stay away. He found himself returning to the stream. Ọlájùmọ began to speak in riddles. Do you know what it means to be a vessel? Do you believe in justice from the other side? One night, under the sacred Iroko tree, she said, my mother was accused of being a witch. Burnt with words. Silenced with fear. But spirits don't forget, Túndé. And they don't forgive. Túndé froze. What do you mean? She's back, inside me. Túndé woke up at midnight, sweating, shaking. He had dreamt of a woman on fire, walking through the village with a gourd in her hand and smoke in her eyes. The next day, Chief Awoyemi fell sick violently. He ranted about, eyes watching from the past. A daughter who glows like revenge. The villagers panicked. They knew what was happening. The sins of the father had returned. Túndé ran to her. Shocked. Confused. Draw. A sacred meeting was called. The elders demanded Ọlájùmọ appear at the Odon, the spiritual courtyard. She came. Head high. Dressed in full white. No fear. Chief Awoyemi, now weak and coughing blood, was carried in. Túndé, hiding behind a palm tree, watched it unfold. Then, the drummers stopped. The wind stilled. Lifted her hands. My name is Ọlájùmọ, meaning wealth awakes with me. But I did not bring wealth. I brought truth. She looked straight into her father's dying eyes. You called my mother a witch. You lied. Because she caught you in bed with the virgin from the shrine. Gasps. She threatened to expose you. So you poisoned her. But the river goddess took her soul. And gave it to me. Chief Awoyemi screamed. He collapsed. Dead. Tunde ran to her. Shocked. Confused. Drawn. She turned to him. I didn't want this life. I wanted peace. But peace doesn't come until truth dances on graves. The villagers knelt. They begged her to forgive. She didn't answer. She walked into the forest, the sacred grove, where only priests were allowed. That night, the river turned red. The next morning, she was gone. Ọgùndé village changed. The shrine was rebuilt. The truth was carved into the town square. Tunde returned to Lagos. But he never wrote the story. Some truths, he said, aren't for newspapers. They're for the winds, the rivers, and the ancestors.